I wanted you to give a quick testify Ethos because you were actually one of the few lucky people to get your hands on the Steam Deck. We did release like a whole full-blown like review on the GI channel, but you know, just maybe like a quick little 2-minute, like what's your thoughts on that real quick before we get into the other part?
Yeah, TLDR, life-changing, great. It's like Christmas come early. I feel like I'm a kid at a candy shop all over again. Fantastic piece of hardware. Software is a work in progress. They're adding stuff to it every single week, so always getting something new, you know, through a patch. But other than that, it's probably the coolest handheld I've ever had, and I love it.
Damn, better than the Game Boy SP?
Yeah. You know, I was a Vita lover. I was loved the Game Boy Advance, loved the Game Boy Advance SP, the DS, 3DS. I've owned a lot of it. Had an N-Gage back in the day.
N-Gage.
So you know, I had a lot of those old school, you know, handhelds, and this is probably by far my favorite one.
Do you feel like Nintendo should be worried?
I don't think Nintendo needs to be worried from like a sales standpoint, but I will say it is it's very damning to the Switch from like if you know what you're doing. I really don't see a need for a Switch anymore unless I play multiplayer games.
Did you have you used the oh my god, what's the VR device called? Oh my goodness, the Steam VR.
No, you're talking about the Index, right?
The Index, yeah. So would you say that the Index, or this is like the handheld version, is like the Index to the Quest? You know, like the Index is like the superior version to the Quest, and this is the superior version to like all maybe handheld emulators and also the Switch.
Yeah, I'd give that to you because like Index was kind of more like high-end enthusiast type of thing, right? Like more expensive, kind of more clunky. You had to like learn how to use it more compared to like the Quest more plug in. You can definitely kind of plug and play this thing. Like for the most part, like there are a lot of games like out of the box you can just boot up and it's just gonna work. But there are some of those games that are a little finicky that you're gonna have to like know how to fine tune yourself and spend a little time doing it. But it's, if you don't mind that and you just like the freedom and like flexibility where it's like it really is this like sandbox that lets you just, if you think you can do it, go for it, and it won't stop you from doing it. Like you can do it. Like there's a lot of cool things that like I've just discovered just by messing around with it. And I've never used Linux before. Like I've used like Ubuntu, but I've never used Linux as an operating system. So this is my first time actually trying it. Yeah,
I haven't heard that shit since high school. Jesus.
Yeah. Shout out to all my Ubuntu users.
I think this is actually like a really interesting time, like for gaming and like handhelds, because I watched the review the other day. There's another device that just came out. It's called the Aya Neo. And it looks like the Steam Deck, like the Switch too, and it's a full-blown PC in your hand too. And from the reviews that I've watched, they said like functionally and like in terms of the number of the games that it can run, it's actually better than the Steam Deck. It's just the price is out of control compared to, it's like 1,300 compared to the Steam Deck.
Yeah,
like
I'm looking at it right now. It's 12, 15.
15 was
it looked really, but it's exciting though, because it's like it's gonna create competition, I think. And I think in the next 5 years, like this could be like a whole new genre or thing of gaming where we're gonna start seeing more PC handhelds. So like I think it's like we're on the cusp of something exciting, and I'm not mad at it.
I think we're in like a really cool renaissance, I think, of handhelds that like I think now we've finally gotten to the point with technology where the power capabilities and how we've been able to shrink power so small now that we're able to get, like, the Steam Deck is essentially like a PlayStation, like a PS4, like a little, it's even stronger than the PS4 was, but it's like a hyper-powered PS4 in your hand. And when you think about that, that's kind of insane. Like back in the day when we only had Game Boy Colors and stuff like that back in the day, just imagining, you know, that this is what the escalation can be like. So you never know like what the future can hold. It seems like a lot of the market right now, like Xbox wants you to be able to play your games wherever you want, right? So this kind of reinforces that ideology of like being able to play your games however, wherever you want. And I was a Vita fan. I was really mad at Sony about how they discontinued it and they failed to support it, because I always felt it had so much potential. I've said that like the Vita basically walked so that, you know, the Switch could run, and now I feel like the Steam Deck's like flying now. So I think I definitely agree. I think like it'll be very interesting to see if Nintendo stops playing around and makes a pro version of the Switch or whatever their new version of the Switch will be. And just seeing like actually Valve, because Valve has said they are blown away and they've been making a boatload of money off of this thing. Like it's been selling like a ton of a ton of units have been selling. Like it's been always on the top 3 of their Steam top sellers list like every single week. So that's a positive sign. It's very possible that like they're going to see this huge want of people who want this type of tech, and they'll make a second generation of the Steam Deck. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't. And that just makes things even better for everybody. So yeah, definitely excited for this.
Have you docked it yet? Like played it in dock mode?
Yeah, I spent a little bit of time with it. I've been honestly more fascinated with the handheld capability.
With the handheld portion, yeah.
Yeah, because it's
Makes
like,
sense.
I got this whole thing to want to go like do stuff like play it on my couch, like, with the pandemic and everything like that. Like, I'm not really using this thing as like, I'm going to walk outside and play this thing like walking around or whatever. It's not really what I've been using it for, but it's been nice to be able to like step away from sitting at a desk and a table and just sit back like on my bed, on the couch, in between when I'm like at the office or something like that. Like, I can just pop this thing out, I can plug in a game, I can play it, then I could turn it off, I can come home later on, I could just turn back on my PC or whatever it is, and I can continue where I left off. Like, it's actually really cool. Just being able to do that however I want and try like emulation and play older games on it and stuff like that. It's really a dream come true.
Cool.
But you sold me.
What's the name?
Yeah, I'm buying this thing.
100%.
Yeah, if you can get you're assuming you can get
You
your
can
hands.
get I would say
You can
if you
get it.
pre-order, like, it's $5. You don't lose. There's no loss really. It's $5. You'll have to wait until probably like Q4 or the beginning of next year. But when you get one, or you might get lucky, maybe they speed up production even further. But like, if you get your hands on one, I don't think anyone's gonna buy this thing and regret it. I feel like everyone who bought it has been like just surprised and amazed by it. So
That $5 down and hope you get that golden ticket from Willy Wonka one day.
pretty much.
And that was going to
okay.
that was going to lead to my question, Ethos. You remember when the PS5 came out, and
Yeah.
we said that we didn't recommend it at the time because there were no games, right? But this is a specific situation because you could play PC games and you could play emulators pretty much on almost anything that you want. And, if you find out how to do it, and just leading to your imagination. So would you recommend someone like going to get it day one if they can, or just go to get it now?
If you can get your hands on this at retail, I would say get it immediately. Like, if you somehow get lucky and you got a chance of getting it, or a friend wants to sell it to you, get it. Because like, even if you don't like it, there are a ton of people who are going to want this device. And I personally think like, it is like, it doesn't have the issue that consoles have day one, where it's like, well, where's the games? What am I supposed to play on this thing, right? Like, every single game, a majority of your games on your Steam library, you're gonna be able to play. Like, I think it told me like 300 of the games that are in my library right now are verified. So that means I can just play them and they're gonna work. And some of them are unsupported, but I've played like 5 games that Valve was like, yeah, unsupported. We haven't tested this game, so we don't know if it's gonna work on the Steam Deck. And it just worked. I just booted it up and it just worked. I've had other games, like 2 games where I couldn't get it to work, but I had to like do some tweaking. But for the most part, like, I was able to get DMC 5. I was playing Devil May Cry on it, Virgil Edition, 60 FPS. I was able to play Witcher 3 on it, 60 FPS. I was able to play Elden Ring at it at about 50 FPS. Like, it's kind of insane. Older games, even now, I've seen people play Red Dead Redemption 2, 60 FPS. It's kind of crazy. So yeah.
What was I about to say? I totally just lost my train of thought because I'm freaking tired. I was gonna say, don't save it for the rest of the video. We have a whole in-depth video on the GI channel, youtube.com/GI updates. If you guys want, it's a whole 17-minute video where he reviews it. So if you want to hear more, I just wanted you to give like a quick little, in case they didn't see that, go check out that video. And then also, are you testing this game on Samurai Zero?
Yes, I've been testing it and it's actually playable right now. I'm gonna make improvement, but yeah, it's fully playable on Steam Deck.
Yeah, GB, Samurai Zero is Ethos's game that he's working on. He's our resident game developer, so he thinks he's smarter than everybody else.
Yeah, absolutely. I go around with a big brain, just hit doors, just trying to get through doors because of my
Well,
math.
considering that me and you could have probably just talked for like 30 minutes about the Steam Deck, I think I like Ethos. We're gonna keep in touch.
Oh, okay, very well.
Yeah. I'm gonna make sure we get that exclusive, G. I'm gonna make sure we get that exclusive for you.
We're good friends.